What's up, guys? Welcome to another speed build. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Happy Monday to all of you. Today we are over in Copperdale and I am building a relatively small house for a family of 5. So a couple of things I want to go over before getting into today's build. The first being that I have officially ordered a brand new mic. I am so happy, I am so excited, and it should be coming tomorrow. So hopefully the next video you guys see of mine, I have a lot better quality sound and not so echoey, not so fuzzy, and not so bad. So just bear with me in this video. I really appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate you supporting my videos even though the audio has been a little sketchy. I really appreciate you guys so much, and I cannot wait for my new mic, and hopefully I have better luck with this new one. But the second thing I would like to mention is this build is a limited pack build. I just chose random packs to leave installed in my game, which I've never done before, but it was actually fun, and it was actually, you know, a lot easier to build. I could actually find items, even though I was running into a problem where like I would look for a certain item and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have that pack installed. That item would have been nice right about now. So I kind of hate that about the limited pack builds, but it's still a lot easier and faster to build limited pack builds, and then it gives you guys a chance that might not have every single pack, which honestly I don't blame you, there's so many packs right now. It gives you guys a chance to download a build. Maybe you have these packs, maybe you don't, but at least you have more of a chance of having a few packs than you would have a whole bunch of packs. And the packs that I did choose are all expansion packs. I feel like those are the more popular packs just because you get more included in there. And so let's see how well my memory works. But I have, of course, the base game, obviously. I have high school years, seasons, cats and dogs. Adventure awaits because I couldn't help myself. I needed those water slides and that modular playground, which both of those are in the back of the build. And I want to say that's it. Those are the only packs I used in this build. And I had my reasons for including each of these packs. I mean, I won't go over those reasons. You guys probably don't care, and you're probably like, Kristen, get on with the speed build already. Okay, I hear you guys. On that note, if you find this video enjoyable, go ahead and leave a like and also subscribe if you have not already. It definitely helps my channel out. It helps the algorithm kick my videos out to other simmers, and also share it with your friends if they're simmers as well, and comment down below whatever it is you would like to comment. I really love to read and interact with you guys down below. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's build. So in the beginning of the video, you probably remember me saying that this is a relatively small build. And I say relatively small because it looks pretty small on the outside, but I was actually able to fit 4 bedrooms and 2 or actually 3 bathrooms. And so that actually, I don't really consider a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house to be small. So as small as it looks on the outside, I was surprisingly able to fit that many bedrooms and bathrooms, and honestly, I'm kind of impressed. But I have to admit that I did cheat a little bit. I did cheat in the way that I put a bedroom down in the basement. Now, I will say, I think that is technically cheating, but I am going to give myself a break on that because I actually seen one of the other houses in Copperdale. It's one of the pre-made houses that was made by a simmer, I believe, or simmer, part of the EA Creator Network at the time, at least. I don't know really who made it, but I know it was not an EA employee. Anyways, I really loved the way that they designed the basement in that house, they had like an access point to the basement from the outside of the build. And I really loved that aspect of it. I'm not sure why I love it so much. It's just really interesting to me. And I really like the storytelling purposes that that could give of having like a teenager down in the basement. That's their new room. They probably sneak out all the time because they have such an easy access outside. I just really, really love different storytelling aspects that that basement would give. And for this build, that's exactly what I did. I did put the teenager down in the basement. I actually have two other children upstairs. So one is a child and the other one is a newborn baby and or the mother is pregnant. I wasn't so sure if the baby was here yet or not, but regardless, the baby is expected to come. The parents ended up having another child, even though both of their other children are relatively older. I mean, one is a teenager, one is a child. So no, they're not old by any means. They're still children, but they're older than a newborn baby. Like, they're closer to becoming adults than they are being a baby. And so they really thought their baby raising years were over. They thought both of their girls, one's in high school, one's almost in high school. We are almost off the hook of being parents and we cannot wait to travel the world once our children graduates. Well, the universe had other plans for this family. They ended up getting pregnant just a little while ago, and this house, it had a basement, but it was used just for basement purposes. It was not a bedroom at the time. And so they had both the teen and the child upstairs in the main part of the house with them until they got pregnant, and they were trying to decide what they were going to do. And the teenager did not want to have to share a room with her little sister whatsoever. And she definitely did not want to share a room with a newborn baby. And so she begged and pleaded with her parents to allow her to sleep in the basement downstairs and make that her room. And her parents said, absolutely not. At first, they did not want that to happen whatsoever for a couple different reasons. I mean, the main reason being the access point to outside. You know, she is able to go right outside that basement door, walk up what I would say would be the stairs, but I put the ladder. So climb up the ladder and then just, you know, do whatever she wants for the night. And they would absolutely never know. And so that was the main reason they did not want that to happen. But then the more they thought about it and the more that, you know, their daughter begged them, she just wanted her own room so bad. They said, you know what, fine, we are going to renovate the garage and have a bathroom down there for you, and you can have your bedroom down there. Just, we do not want to lose trust in you, so do not take advantage of the situation. And so, of course, she was so happy with that news. And so now the basement is her bedroom. And of course, yes, she does sneak out, but her parents will never know. What they don't know will not hurt them, right, guys? I feel like having a basement as your room as a teenager is the absolute teenage dream. 100%. I would have loved to have had that as a teenager. My parents would have never, they would have made me share a room before they gave me a basement. I mean, I live in Florida, so we don't really have basements here. But even if we did, they would have never. That didn't stop me from sneaking out though. I still used the window. I would just bruise my leg every time. Can you guys relate to that? I'm sure you can. Every time like you tried to get out that window, you would scrape the bottom of your leg and just bruise it. Yeah, that hurts so bad, but I guess it was worth it. I'm just joking. It was honestly probably never worth it. It really wasn't. Just to go and hang out with your friends at nighttime, just to feel like you don't have rules and you're not a teenager. I mean, that really was the only reason I snuck out, was just to go hang out with my friends and literally sit there and talk. It was never to do anything mischievous or anything like that. Maybe I'm just a good girl, but moral of the story is it was not worth it. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty much the little storyline that I came up with this build. Nothing really too extravagant, but it really fits Copperdale and high school years, and I felt like it was kind of perfect for this house that we're building. We are working on the outside, and I have placed a few furniture pieces on the inside of the build. I really was just doing like placeholder furniture so I could see what rooms were going to be what. Like what was going to be the living room, what was going to be the kitchen, what was going to be the dining room. And I'm really getting a good head start on the landscaping and the backyard area and how I want to lay this out. I am working on a little tiny pond right here in the front. I really love to add these ponds. They add such a cute touch. And if you have like a random awkward space like that little corner right there that you do not know what to do with, adding a pond honestly is like the perfect thing to add. In my opinion, I love them. You can't go wrong with a pond. Just make sure you change the watercolor on the pond, add some landscaping around it, add some terrain paint around it, add a log or two, maybe some of those little like critter squares. I really don't know what you call those. So they're critters. They're critter squares on this channel. I don't know. That's honestly hard for me to say, so I'm not even going to call it that. I don't know what I'm going to call those things. I need to go look in game to see what they're called. They're like holograms though. They pretty much are just fake bugs that fly around. I do like to add those around ponds and around my builds in general because it kind of adds a realistic aspect to it. And we have butterflies if you have Adventure Awaits. And I love those butterflies. They are so cute and so pretty, and they make it look so pretty in game when you're like sitting in the garden and you have like a pretty white butterfly flying around. Like it really adds such a nice detail. I love the fact that they added those butterflies as some of those little like squares that you can place. So yeah, I definitely recommend adding ponds if you don't know what to do with a certain area. Just make sure you follow those tips because it really brings the ponds to life and it makes them look so much better than if you just dig a hole and put the default water in there. Then it's not going to look very realistic. It's not going to look very good in general. It's going to look it's going to look bad. It really will. So just follow those steps and you'll be a pro pond builder in no time. It took me a little bit of time to get used to building ponds, but once I got used to it, it's like I can build them in 5 seconds now. So yeah, as far as the landscaping goes for this build, I chose hydrangeas, which is probably not a surprise to my returning viewers, but they are not the white ones. I always tend to do the white hydrangeas. They're just so pretty, but I really love these purple hydrangeas too, especially if I have a lot of like dark brown detailing throughout the build like I have here with the dark brown privacy fence and the dark brown like shutters on the windows. The purple hydrangeas mixed with the brown, they look so pretty with each other. They really complement each other very, very well. And then I also did like the hedgerow bushes, and I also did those really big plumpy bushes I get from Debug. I love those. I can't help but to use those in all of my builds. I started this build out thinking I wasn't going to use those. And I was looking in the Debug catalog for Copperdale, and I came across like these big bushes, but they're like they almost look like tumbleweeds to me. Like they're so ugly. Like I'm not trying to be mean, but they are not cute. And so I really don't like to use those. They are also in like Strangerville. They're in several different packs. They're in Outdoor Retreats. I cannot stand those bushes, but these bushes here that I use, they're just cute. They look so much better with the landscaping than those tumbleweed looking bushes do. I can't stand those bushes. I always try to use them and I just cannot bring myself to do it. I think I only did it if I built in like Outdoor Retreat and I had to force myself, guys. Like I literally had to force myself. It wasn't fun. And as far as the bushes in the backyard, I did the same thing in the front and the back. The only difference that I did in the back by the pool area, I chose the hedgerow bushes that had the fairy lights on them. We recently got that during like the holiday season last year with the quest. So if you didn't do that quest, sorry, you don't have them, but the game will just automatically replace it with the regular hedgerow bushes, I'm sure. So it's really not a huge deal, but I really love to add those around like, for example, this pool area, or maybe if it's by like a gazebo or a garden, anywhere that a lot of Sims are gonna go and just chill and hang out. I really like to add those hedgerow bushes that has the fairy lights on there. I think it's such a cute touch, especially at night. You can really just see them faintly glow. Like when you zoom out, you really don't see them, which honestly I like, so it's not too overwhelming. And then if you zoom in, that is when you're able to see them. So I really like those, and they look so pretty by the pool area. And I made a little like cutout section to put that bench with the umbrella, and around that umbrella table I put the hydrangeas and the hedgerow bushes and another fence just to section off that area with the playground. And I really like the way I did the pool area in this build. I thought it turned out super cute and very colorful, but colorful in like a good way. It's not too many different colors going on. I just did purple and white with each other, so it really, and then obviously the greenery is just everywhere. So it all complements each other so well. I'm really happy with the way the outside of this build turned out, and honestly the inside didn't turn out too bad either. The kitchen and dining room is actually kind of interesting the way that I laid it out. I have technically the kitchen and dining room in the same room, but it's technically cut off by a platform. And then in the center of the kitchen, I kind of debated against whether or not I wanted to add a bar or if I wanted to add just an island there with some stools. And I tried to place the island there in the center and place some stools with it, and it did not work. My son couldn't go around it. You guys probably seen me do that. And so I really didn't like the look of just the island with no stools for some reason. It just looks like it's missing something. But the bar, I feel like works with no stools. And these parents just had a doozy given to them, guys. They got pregnant randomly and they thought they were done. So mom, she cannot have any juice, but dad can. And once the baby is born, mom can then have juice. They're gonna need it. So I decided to go ahead and put a bar here too. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it looks relatively good. It looks the same as like the island, just doesn't have the stools, and you can't prepare food on there, but you can prepare drinks, and that is what matters. So I actually kept the kitchen relatively simple in this build. I mean, it has a pretty nice layout, and I gave it some dimension with the upper cabinets by having the half cabinets that's above the windows. I kind of put them up a notch compared to the cabinets without the windows, and I never do that, but it was a nice change. And then I have some lunch boxes for the teenager and the child, and I put a bouquet of flowers. I figured dad got that for mom to cheer her up a little bit. And I mean, really honestly, that's about it. It's a very simple yet sweet kitchen. It has everything that you will need to be able to prepare meals for the fam. And then the dining room, I think the dining room turned out super cute, to be totally honest. I got this hutch from Cats and Dogs. I absolutely love this hutch. I want to say that that is my favorite in the game. It's a toss-up between that one and the one from Cottage Living is super cute as well. It really just depends on what you need it for and which one would fit in the space. But for this build, we are doing the Cats and Dogs one, mainly because I do not have Cottage Living installed, so I didn't really have a choice. But also, the Cottage Living one wouldn't fit here very well anyways. Something I love to do with this Cats and Dogs one, I usually size it down so I then have to freely place the objects in it, but that little like open square area, I really love to put some sort of sculpture, or in this case, I ended up putting a radio and a little like plant for decoration. And that radio also has the prom channel on it. So if you do not know, with high school years, there is an additional music station that is specifically for prom. And it has some really good music on there. I really like that music. But you cannot access it with just any radio. You have to have certain radios. Either this radio I used in the dining room, or you have to have the actual prom station. Or like the actual prom radio, that big gigantic one that looks like it's good for parties, but like doesn't really fit for a house. And so it kind of sucks. I really don't like that because I really want that station on a regular radio, but I mean, I kind of get why they did it that way, but I don't like it. So to get around that, I just use that old-fashioned radio, and yeah, it's old-fashioned. It's not necessarily the style I'm going for, but it works. It works if you want that prom station, and this is in Copperdale. This is all about teens, and so I had to have that radio somewhere in the house, and that was the perfect place for it. So we are starting on the parents' room now, and I chose this bed from Seasons mainly because I never use it, and I figured this was the perfect opportunity to, since I'm doing a limited pack build. And this was like the best bed I could find for the parents that looked the most like an adult would have. It didn't look too teenager-ish or too childish, but also it wasn't base game. I really am tired of the base game beds because of all the base game builds that I do. And don't get me wrong, I love to build with base game, but there's only so many good things in base game, so I tend to use the same items over and over. So if I do have at least one pack installed, then I typically build using the items, especially the bed, from that pack. So luckily I had a few different choices to choose from in this build since I have a few different expansion packs installed, but I really like this bed. I don't really know why I don't use it. It's a nice bed. It looks like a realistic bed. I really like how the back of the headboard is slightly taller than a lot of the other beds. And then I just put a few pictures above the bed, and I chose a dresser from Cats and Dogs that actually matched perfectly with that bed. And that dresser that I use from Cats and Dogs is so adorable. I love the back of it, like the detailing on it is so cute. And I pretty much kept that bedroom relatively simple, but I did place one skill building item. Well, technically two if you include the mirror. You can actually use the mirror for a couple different skills depending on the packs that you have. Charisma is with base game, that's for sure. And then you can also practice your romance skill on it if you have Love Struck, and I don't remember anything else, but I feel like there's research and debate if you have Discover University. Probably more, but those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. But other than the mirror, I also included one of those like bicycle workout bikes. And I figured the mom is super into fitness. She's pregnant at this time, but when she's not pregnant, she's usually very, very active. She just really takes her health very seriously. And so I put a bicycle workout machine in their room as well. And that is pretty much it for their room. Like I said, I kept it pretty simple. I got both of these bathrooms up here done. One is for the master bedroom, and then the other one is just for like the other two children and for any guests that come over. And both of those bathrooms are relatively the same. I will tell you that the teenager has the best bathroom in the house for sure. She has the newly renovated one, so I feel like it made sense just to make it a little bit nicer than these two up here. And I am sure once that teenager moves out, if she ever does, and this child grows into a teenager, then she could probably go in that room downstairs too, or dad or mom, they could make it into like a little adult hangout area or a man cave or a woman cave or whatever they want. I mean, you could really make it into whatever you want once the teenager moves out. So that's the good thing about making that little like basement room downstairs is that you can rearrange it to whatever you want it to be. I do have to say that this child has a very cool room too. So this used to be the teenager's room, and then where the baby is, that is where the child used to be. So she definitely has an upgraded room as well. I really like how I sectioned it off and I put the bed up on a platform, and we have stairs to step up to get to the bed area. I think that is so cute. And then down below I chose to put a desk with the arts and craft kit, and that is for a couple different reasons. I actually had in mind that I could go ahead and put the crafting supply kit there, and then you guys, if you end up downloading this and you play in this house, you could totally like move that arts and crafts kit and place a laptop there and like kind of switch between the two depending on what you want the kid to do. And you could also just remove it completely and have them do their homework there. Like there's a couple different things you can do. So I felt like having a computer desk in the kids' room was a really good idea. And it's kind of a small room, so I had to pick and choose what exactly I wanted to put in there. Unfortunately, there is no other skill building item. Well, I do have a violin down there, so at least there is another skill building item, but I figured they have the modular playground outside and the monkey bar set, and they have the swimming pool. They have a lot of outdoor activities to build their skill, and so I figured it was not a huge deal to have just the crafting table inside, or the crafting kit, not necessarily the creativity table. So the only skill that they're not going to be able to build is the mental skill. So that is not ideal. I want to say there's another way to build mental skill other than the mental table, but for some reason my mind is drawing a blank. But if you want your kid to build the mental skill, you could totally put the mental table and replace where the desk is, or you could put it outside somewhere. You could put it by the playground. You could put it on the back porch. We do actually have a chess table, so I think they are able to build their mental skill there. So I believe there's all the things you need to be able to build up your child's skill to whatever you want it to be. You could build up all of them, you could build up none of them. Really, that is up to you. So we have the baby's room done too. The baby's room is very simple. It's very small, so it really took me no time at all to get that one done. I did want to place like a little like ottoman in front of that chair because I thought it was so cute. It gave the look that that is for like your feet, like you could prop your feet up on it while holding the baby, but my sim could not go around it, so I had to unfortunately delete it. I had a good idea that your sim wasn't going to be able to sit in the seat anyways, so it kind of would have been for no reason. So now your sim can actually sit in that chair for whatever reason. It's not like they can pull the baby out of the crib and hold the baby while sitting in the chair. They'll be able to do that once the baby's an infant, but as a newborn baby, they are tied to that bassinet. You cannot move them at all. And yeah, I mean, that is pretty much it for upstairs. I still have to decorate the front porch and the back porch, but as far as the furnishings inside goes, we are completely done, and we are now working on the teenager's room. And I forgot to mention earlier that this family does in fact have a cat. It's mainly the teenager's cat, and so I ended up putting the food bowl and litter box and everything that the cat needs inside the teen's room. And I also, where the dresser is, I love that dresser. It was so cute, but I ended up having to delete that because I wanted to put a cat tree for the cat instead, so that the cat had something to do. The cat cannot climb out of the ladder, so unfortunately the cat won't be able to go outside, but that's fine. It's an inside cat. It's safer for cats inside anyways, and it's pretty much the teen's cat, and so I decided let's just go ahead and put the food bowl and everything it needs down here, and this is where it lives. And I wanted to make sure that I had like a little sitting area for the teenager and her friends, and then I have her bed area. On top of her bed, I put this little like laundry basket. I thought that was such a cute detail. It looks like The mom brought down the teen's laundry for the teen to put away inside of the dresser that she does not have. But that's fine. That's fine. And I absolutely love this bed swatch from high school years. The flowers on it is so pretty. It's so colorful. This whole room turned out very, very colorful. I figured this teenager was very into like just colorful things, and I would say she's into art, but I did not include an easel. I did put like her cheerleading pom-poms on the wall and just anything I thought a teenager would like, I tried to include in this build. Lots of posters, computer desk, and computer monitor and stuff. It kind of looks like she streams a video game on the side for some side money and as a fun little hobby. And I mean, that's pretty much it. It's kind of, there's a lot going on, but at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. I'm just using a bunch of stuff from high school years. This area out here, though, where she has like a little outside patio sort of thing, and I really, really love that. And I put another love seat and chair out there so that she has an inside sitting area and an outside sitting area. And then I put some string lights up on top of the wall outside as well. And I thought it gave a really cute lit up scenery, and it looks really nice at nighttime. So I just had a random thought. So I said that the cat cannot climb down the ladder, but I don't think your Sim is able to hold the cat and go downstairs with the cat either. So how are we going to get that cat in this room? Oh no, I didn't think about that. So I might, okay, take this with a grain of salt because I forget half the time. When I say I'm going to do something before I upload it on the gallery, I forget. But hopefully I remember to change out that outdoor ladder for a staircase, and then I might have to remove like the sitting area outside, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We have to get the cat down there somehow. And the only way I know how to do that is by adding a staircase somewhere, and obviously it won't fit from the inside. And so I think I might be able to squeeze it from the outside. And so it might look a little bit different down there if I remember to change it, but yeah, so random thought that I just thought of now. But honestly, that might be for the better anyways, because I was honestly feeling super bad that the cat was tied down to that room and could not go anywhere else in the build. Couldn't go outside, couldn't go see anybody else at night when Sims are trying to sleep. I mean, I was starting to feel bad, so I guess it's better to change it out for a ladder anyways. And I'm glad that I remember now instead of after my voiceover, and especially after I uploaded it on the gallery, because then you guys would have to change it, and then it kind of defeats the purpose of you downloading a build off the gallery. Because I do really like to have completed builds for you guys to download. I don't want you to have to do anything if you don't want to do anything. If you want to, refurnish it, that's up to you. You can do whatever you want. But if you don't want to, I don't want to have to force you. You know what I mean? I remember back when I first started playing The Sims 4 and I would download houses off the gallery because I was absolutely terrible at building houses. I'm gonna have to show you guys my first ever house at some point. It's crazy. It's on my gallery if you want to see it. Just go scroll down to the very bottom. You'll see the first one. You'll see. Yeah. You'll see it. But I remember back when I used to download houses off the gallery to play in, I used to get so irritated if something did not work and I would have to go into build mode and fix it. And most of the time, if you're not good at building, you're not going to know how to fix it. And so, yeah, that's the main reason why I like to make sure I playtest my builds and, try to make it as playable as possible. Things slip through the cracks. I'm not perfect, so I'm sure I miss stuff even if I playtest, but at least I try to make sure it's perfect as possible anyways. And if I know something doesn't work, earlier when I was talking about that chair in the infant's room, I kind of figured if the ottoman was in front of it, it wasn't going to work. I tried to let you guys know that, like, listen, there's a mirror here, you're not going to be able to use it, stuff like that. But yeah, we completely finished the teenager's room. I don't think I talked about the bathroom down there, but I mean, it's self-explanatory. I do really like the way it came out though. I think it's super cute. It has a stand-up, standalone shower, and it also has a garden tub. So I mean, I would absolutely die if that was my room now, you know, much less as a teenager. And we are now finishing up the outside. I'm pretty much just working on the terrain paint now. I have everything where I want it to be. I do end up changing right here a little bit. I didn't like that little area without having any sort of landscaping, and I didn't really know what to put there in replace of the hedgerow bush. The hedgerow bush just was not fitting at all. I tried. So I ended up just extending the back porch and then called it a day. It looked pretty good, and so I said, okay, I'll keep it. And then on that back porch, I do in fact put a chess table, so there's an additional skill building item there. And in that little corner area where the modular playground is, there was a blank space, and so I decided let's just go ahead and put some gardening pots there or some planter boxes, and there's an additional skill building item. You can never have too many skill building items, and if you don't want those planter boxes, you could totally delete those and then like go into the little terrain paint menu and grab that eraser tool. And I recommend dragging the opacity scale all the way to the right so that it's very, very faintly erasing the terrain paint, and then just delete the little grass and mud and dirt that I put there, and you'll never even know that it existed. Oh, and I forgot, I added these fairy lights too. Those fairy lights are actually from the debug menu of high school years. I'm so happy that they added those, and they look so stinking cute by the pool. I love that. And then I had to kind of make it a diagonal to fit all the way around the fence and it not go off the side of the lot. And so I just made it a diagonal in front of the tree, and I actually really like that detail, especially with it by the modular playground area. It looks really, really nice. And then I'm making sure I add a trash can because I do not ever like to play in a house that does not have a trash can. That is the worst thing ever. And so I always like to make sure I add them. And then I am adding a mailbox as well. And this mailbox gave me a hard time, guys. I was so indecisive on where to put it. So I ended up putting it in the front, and then I said, you know what? It's staying there. I'm not moving it again. So hopefully you guys like it there. I didn't know where else to put it. And that is about it. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's build. If you did, please do not forget to leave a like and also subscribe if you have not already. And comment down below what your favorite part of today's build is. I'd love to hear from you guys. I hope you all have an amazing day or night wherever you are, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.